But first of all, there's always beauty in disaster, because nature is beautiful and nature is awful, and it just is. If you're professional, then you're taught how to tell a story or visually how to make images. And if a disaster comes, in some ways that's your job. In the same way, if you know how to do that work and there's a need for it to be done, then I think you go and do it. But
over the course of 3 days, from the 1st to the 3rd of March 2012, Heidelberg University's Cluster of Excellence, Asia and Europe, held a conference titled Imaging Disasters, the point of which was to discuss the socio-cultural processes of disasters and their medial representation. The main questions which the participants explored included: how do individuals imagine disasters in different cultures? How do images shape the perception of an event? And which elements are specific to cultures, and which ones work in a transcultural context? The responses to these questions, as well as the various approaches taken, will be the basis of an exhibition at the Reiss-Engelhorn-Museen in Mannheim in 2014. In addition to the talk, the conference featured a public exhibition of photos of catastrophe images displayed at the German-American Institute in Heidelberg. The exhibit included Kazu Ahmed's Flooded with Memories, which showcased the village of Matmora in India, which had been flooded by the river Brahmaputra in 2008. According to the artist, the only things remaining after the flood were the memories of the village and the photos which he had exhibited. The other photographer was Arek Meyer.
So I was in New York City, and I got the assignment from the Wall Street Journal to cover Hurricane Katrina with one of their front page editors. So we flew down, went into the city together, and worked for 3 weeks. In the, say, second, third, and fourth weeks after the storm, there was a very unusual aesthetic event, which was an American city empty, without people and without really any outside help. So the message of the photographs is in some ways how that is. It's kind of an invisible place. And if you don't go there and photograph it, it stays invisible. It's new to me to be engaged in a European-Asian conversation, but very, very important, because there are these groupings around the world that experience images slightly differently, and we need to have it's not so much that images are wrong, but we need to understand what they do. And I think this conference goes a long way to...
The art to TV director Sven Vaskunig discussed the logic of disaster films and how they work. For the conference, he had interviewed actor Antonio Banderas and asked him which image he thinks best represents a disaster.
If I close my eyes right now and I think of an image of disaster, well, I see a second planet coming towards the Earth in Melancholia of Lars von Trier's. The final image of Kirsten Dunst and the other two actors, yes, waiting there for the inevitable moment of death.
Here at the Karl Jasper Center's film site, you will find a selection from this conference, portrait films and project films, as well as films from other talks.